I keep getting asked the same question recently. Why are we still making videos the hard way when AI can spit something out in 30 seconds? It's cheaper, it's faster, and on a phone screen it looks fine. If we leave the ethics out of this conversation and just focus on brand marketing, fine could be the most expensive mistake that your business could make. Before I go on, do you know what's funny? Before I worked in video production, I worked in the robotics sector, so I do actually know a lot about automation, machine learning, and Industry 4.0. And I can tell you, with my experience of working in AI and now being on the creative side, don't press that prompt button. It honestly won't be worth it in the long run. Let me get into it. We're seeing so many companies right now swapping out human creativity for what the internet lovingly calls AI slop. I'm not talking about automating your post-production workflow or using machine learning to improve manufacturing efficiency. I'm talking about customer-facing creative content, all the stuff you put out on social media and your website and your newsletters. I know it's tempting to look at a video production budget and think you can just automate the soul out of it to save a few pounds, but when you outsource your creativity to an algorithm, you're basically telling your audience that your brand is a cold, hard commodity. You're showing your customers that your brand message is generic, your values are generated, and your relationship with them is just a transaction. As a brand, you're supposed to care about your services and care about your customers, and serving them AI-generated content doesn't treat them with respect or tell them that you value quality. Content that you put out is sometimes the first impression of your brand to new customers. Before you put your prompts into your AI engine, think about whether you, as a consumer, would trust and buy it. Really sit down and ask yourself that honestly. So, there's a cognitive bias coined by the psychologist Edward Thorndike, which is called the halo effect. And when that theory is applied to marketing, it's where people judge products based on their judgment of a brand. Although the halo effect is usually about positive bias, the theory can also work in a negative way. If your video looks like an AI template, your audience subconsciously assumes that your product is a template too. This goes back to what I was saying about what your AI-generated content is telling your audience about you. When you choose the human approach, you aren't just paying for a camera crew or human editors, you're also paying for human intention. You're paying for a director who knows how to hold a shot for 1 second longer to let an emotion land. You're paying for the chemistry that only happens when real people are in a room together. Sure, you're paying more upfront than you would for AI, but think about it long term. What's the point of saving money at this stage of the creative process if it isn't going to land those inquiries and brand loyalty in the future? Buy cheap, buy twice. At the end of the day, people don't buy quality services and products from algorithms, they buy from people they trust. AI can simulate a story, but it can't empathize with your customer. It can't feel the room. As the world gets flooded with all of this AI-generated content, the value of the human touch is making a comeback. Well, actually, we never really went away, and that's the thing. Real creativity doesn't come and go like technological trends, and that authentic foundation is what will turn a viewer into a loyal customer who actually believes in your brand. If you want video content that just fills a gap on your feed like empty calories, go ahead and use a bot. But if you want to build a brand that people actually trust, let's have a chat. I'm Yas, thanks so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one.